Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're travelling on one of Britain's most fascinating and historic railway routes as we make our way from London Blackfriars to Gatwick Airport along the famous Brighton Main Line via the Sydenham Corridor. This is a journey that has everything a railway enthusiast could wish for: Victorian engineering, busy commuter operations, airport services, fascinating history, and some of the most important railway infrastructure in southern England. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the journey. We begin our adventure at London Blackfriars, one of the most unique railway stations anywhere in the world. The station spans the River Thames, offering magnificent views across London towards St Paul's Cathedral and the famous skyline of the city. Every day, thousands of passengers pass through here on their journeys across the capital and beyond. As we leave Blackfriars, we're travelling on the Thameslink network, one of Europe's busiest cross-city railway systems. This remarkable railway links destinations from the south coast with towns and cities hundreds of miles to the north, creating one continuous route through the heart of London. Our next stop is London Bridge, Britain's oldest railway terminus. Railways have been arriving here since the 1830s, making it one of the birthplaces of the modern railway. Although today's station has been completely transformed with modern platforms and concourses, its history stretches back nearly 2 centuries, and it remains one of the busiest stations in the country. Leaving London Bridge behind, we begin climbing steadily through the suburbs of South London. We soon arrive at New Cross Gate, an important railway junction where national rail services meet the London Overground network. This has long been one of the capital's key railway intersections and continues to play a vital role in keeping London's railways moving. Our journey continues through Brockley and Honour Oak Park. Before the railway arrived, these areas were little more than rural villages surrounded by countryside. The coming of the railway completely transformed them into thriving suburban communities, allowing thousands of people to live further from central London while still commuting into the city each day. Next, we reach Forest Hill, home to the famous Horniman Museum and its beautiful gardens. It's one of South London's hidden treasures, and well worth a visit if you're ever in the area. As we continue towards Sydenham, we're entering one of the oldest sections of the entire route. The Sydenham Corridor has a truly remarkable history. This line was originally opened by the London and Croydon Railway in 1839, making it one of Britain's earliest commuter railways. Almost 200 years later, trains are still running along exactly the same corridor, carrying thousands of passengers every single day. It is a wonderful reminder of the vision and engineering skill of the Victorian railway pioneers. Today, this route is busier than ever. Thameslink trains, Southern services and London Overground trains all share these tracks, creating an almost constant procession of passenger services throughout the day. For railway enthusiasts, it's one of the most interesting places in London to watch modern railway operations. We continue through Penge West and Annerley before arriving at Norwood Junction, one of the busiest railway junctions in southern England. Here, trains branch off towards London Victoria, Crystal Palace, and several other important destinations. Looking out from the cab, it's easy to appreciate just how complicated Britain's railway network really is, with multiple tracks, crossovers, junctions, and signalling working together to keep hundreds of trains moving safely every day. Beyond Norwood Junction, the scenery gradually changes. The dense London suburbs begin to give way to greener landscapes as we continue south towards Surrey. Approaching Purley, we're about to reach one of the engineering highlights of the entire Brighton Main Line. South of Purley, the railway divides into 2 distinct routes. The original Victorian railway continues through Redhill, while faster services take the famous Quarry Line. The Quarry Line was constructed during the late 19th century to solve a growing problem: express trains to Brighton were being delayed by slower stopping services using the original route through Redhill. The answer was to build an entirely new fast railway through the hills, allowing express trains to bypass the slower section altogether. It was an ambitious project that dramatically improved journey times and remains one of the most important upgrades ever carried out on the Brighton Main Line. Ahead of us lies Quarry Tunnel. Stretching for well over 2 miles, Quarry Tunnel is one of the great engineering achievements of Britain's Victorian railway network. Passing through solid chalk beneath the North Downs, it allows trains to maintain high speeds while avoiding the steep gradients of the older route. Even today, nearly 130 years after it opened, it continues to carry countless passenger trains every single day. Emerging back into daylight, we're travelling across one of the most attractive stretches of the Brighton Main Line. Nearby is the older Redhill Tunnel, part of the original London to Brighton Railway built during the Great Railway boom of the 1840s. Although many fast trains now avoid it by using the Quarry Line, the original route remains an important part of the railway network and continues to serve local communities. Together, these two tunnels tell the fascinating story of how Britain's railways evolved to meet ever-growing demand for faster and more reliable journeys. Our journey now takes us through Earlswood and Salfords, peaceful stations surrounded by woodland and open countryside. After the busy suburbs of South London, this section feels wonderfully rural and provides a welcome contrast before we reach our final destination. Ahead lies Horley, a historic Surrey market town whose fortunes have become closely linked with nearby Gatwick Airport. Many local residents work at the airport, while thousands of travellers pass through the station every day on their way to flights around the world. Before long, the airport terminals begin to appear on the horizon as we make our final approach. Welcome to Gatwick Airport. This is one of the busiest airport railway stations in the United Kingdom and an essential transport hub for southern England. Direct trains connect Gatwick with London, Brighton, Cambridge, Peterborough, Bedford, Southampton, and many other destinations, making it one of the country's finest examples of integrated rail and air travel. As our journey comes to an end, we've travelled over one of Britain's most historic and important railway routes. From the unique platforms above the River Thames at Blackfriars, through the historic Sydenham Corridor, across one of the country's finest examples of Victorian railway engineering at Quarry Tunnel, and finally into one of Europe's busiest airports. This really is a route that has something for every railway enthusiast. If you've never travelled this line before, it's one I would thoroughly recommend. Whether you're interested in railway history, signalling, engineering, modern train operations, or simply spectacular driver's eye views, the Brighton Main Line via Sydenham is an unforgettable railway experience. Thank you very much for joining me on today's journey from London Blackfriars to Gatwick Airport. I really hope you've enjoyed travelling along this wonderful railway. If you have, please give the video a like, share it with your fellow railway enthusiasts, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for many more driver's eye view journeys, railway history features, and railway adventures from across Britain. I'd also love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Have you travelled this route? Which station is your favourite? And what memories do you have of the Brighton Main Line? Thanks again for watching, take care, and I'll see you on the next railway adventure.